Hello and welcome to the new episode of the podcast. So today we have a returning company that is SLSat, one of the premier global satellite operators. And we have recorded previously two episodes with them, the link of which will be putting it down in the description of this episode as well. Last time, I guess, we discussed about the technicalities, the ground station, the kind of services SLSat provides, and the way it has scaled over the years in the past years. Today, we'll be taking a little more deeper dive into what the current situation of the secure satellite communication is, how the operations and related stuff that is taking place at the company, and the kind of services they're targeting in the future. So, without any delay, I would like to welcome on board today's guest from SLSat, Mr. Ibrahim Al-Hajj. Hi, Ibrahim. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Omkar. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to have you and your team again on the podcast because
Thank you.
last time we really had a great time. And I guess this was the exact same time we recorded before IBC, the last year's podcast as well. And so great to have at the same time again. So before we actually get into the topic, Ibrahim, can you briefly introduce yourself about your journey and how you basically ended up what you're doing at the moment at SLSat?
Sure. My name is Ibrahim Al-Hammadi, and at the moment I'm the executive director of sales. I joined actually SLA-backed since the beginning of establishment of the company in 2010 as a project engineer. A project engineer, and I was part of the Qatari team, which was on job training with the first satellite. Our first satellite was built at SSL Loral, Maxar right now, and it was launched on board of Ariane 5 in 2013 and came on to service in December 2013. I was with the program from the beginning on job training, so we would be taking courses to learn about the satellite industry. And then I joined for a short while the Spectrum team as a Spectrum engineer for a year and a half. In that area, I experienced how the ITU works, and then came back to the project as a project director, and I led the team in Japan, when we were building our second satellite, SLA-2, with Melco, and we launched the second satellite in 2018 and came on surface in 2019. uh, at that time, then I became the executive director of projects until I joined the sales team as executive director of sales at the beginning of this year. So this is my whole journey with the SLSat.
Very interesting journey. I believe individuals like you are extremely necessary in the sales domain because you really have, I believe, a technical experience. And I could relate to this journey because I come from a similar background, starting from science and tech and then jumping into the sales. And I believe such a huge satellite operator having such huge responsibility, it's really appreciable to see your journey in this way that you have landed into the sales role. Because I believe a lot of times in our industry, the technical knowledge is very important. Of course, business is the prime aspect that goes into the satellite communication, but without technology, there is no business in the space
Uh,
industry. So,
I
really
totally
appreciate your
agree with you.
journey.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, the technical expertise that we learned through the journey, it really helps to understand how services are going to be provided to customers on that aspect as well.
Absolutely. Perfect. So, we'll now jump directly into our uh, topic of discussion today, that is SLSat redefining secure satellite communications for a connected future. So Ibrahim, all up to you. I'll start with the first very question, which is I would say kind of uh, aligns a lot with your region where your satellite operator is based right now. So what makes SELSAT's connectivity solutions stand out in the Middle East and North African region?
For SLASat, the VSAT services are leveraged by our satellites, SL1 and SL2, KU and KA bands, to deliver these services on high-speed communication. These services are ideal for remote, maritime, and also for mobile governmental operations. Um Also, we can say that the services are backed by the strong satellite footprint across MENA region and disaster recovery readiness using the two satellites. Since our two satellites are located on 25.5 east and 26 east, so we can back the two satellites can back each other and provide uh, this type of backup solution for our customers.
Very interesting. I believe there are a lot of other players as well in the region, and competing and positioning yourself in that region, especially in such areas of both government and civil, is I
Exactly.
would
I
say a
mean,
big jump. Yes,
sorry, I mean, for 26 East, it's considered for our regions as a hotspot for satellite industry. I mean, there are many big players and even have their own history before SailSat joining the game in that area. So the competition is really hard in that area as well.
absolutely. Yeah, I definitely agree with you because having worked in and around that region, I am based in Europe primarily. But of course, if you're based in Europe, the Middle East and North African region, kind of, it's an EMEA region, we call it in general. You get to see a lot of competition that is there. So really highly appreciable of you and your team competing and possibly, staying ahead of the curve in that domain. So just a
Yeah.
follow-up question, because I believe you mentioned the government operations as well. So from that aspect, I would like to ask, how does SCLSat ensure data security for sensitive operations?
Actually, we are supporting our encryption standards ranging from IPSec VPN to quantum sail cryptography. SL2 also is built in a way to enhance anti-jamming protections to ensure secure and uninterrupted data communication for our customer.
All right. And I think you just mentioned about the quantum as well. I believe when the question related to quantum comes in, it's always about the end-to-end communication or the end-to-end encryption. So, with respect to that, I would like to know, what does SEL SAT's end-to-end managed services include, like especially in terms of maybe the services or the support as well.
Yeah, for SailSat, the end-to-end offering covers hardware provisioning for the customers, also the installation and network monitoring, and also the we do the proactive maintenance for our clients. We also have our own in SailSat, our own engineers, certified field engineers, also the 24/7 VSAT operations teams to ensure rapid issue response through clear escalation procedures in case of any emergencies.
All right, that's interesting to know because I was not aware of this fact. So you mentioned about the engineer stream. So it is generally on demand basis, or they are always on the ground, present 24/7.
For our operations, it's always on the ground. So, in case of any issues with the satellite or interrupted communications, so we can even if we get contacted by our customers for any issues, we have our team ready to try to solve the issues as fast as possible. So you understand that the clients do not want any interruptions to their transmissions. So we have to have the team ready to answer and to solve any issues arise.
I believe, especially when it comes to government missions and operations,
Exactly.
the interruption is, I think, might ruin your complete business in general. So it is.
That's
I really agree with you that fact. Without interruption, if you'd like to operate, you need to have a team on the ground. And just I would like to follow up on that part only. Uh, is there a support for government operators to manage systems independently?
Yeah, so we offer a specialized training program that empowers government employees and operators to perform their own services or self operation.
Interesting. So there is a kind of flexibility and integration that you provide in general in
Yes,
this domain
exactly.
as well.
So that depends on the customer. Some will ask, okay, I need my operators to be able to operate the service by themselves, or some will say, okay, we want our sources to you guys, so you can do it. So we can arrange for both solutions.
That's a nice insight as well. And as we're speaking about flexibility and integration, I would like to also touch up a little bit upon the customization part. So, how customizable are SCL-SAT's bandwidth and service level agreement options, especially for the government clients?
For governmental clients, they can choose between dedicated or shared bandwidth. With the on-demand allocation from a secure pool of bandwidth. For the SLA, compliance is tracked and reported to ensure mission critical reliability for our customers.
All right, and especially when it comes to SL agreements. So, uh, just for our audience, because our podcast audience is broadly based across the wide geographic regions from Pacific to Europe to basically United States as well. So, when you say the government customers, are there any restrictions when it comes to working with the government? Or you work with any kind of government primarily in the civil and commercial domain? I'm asking, not in the defense domain.
As long as the solution or the requirements they want, we can provide. We can work with any government.
Interesting. Yeah, I asked this question because a lot of, I think, commercial and the civil agreements which are going on right now between the European nations and the Middle Eastern countries as well. And a lot of times there is a need, for a shared, possibly bandwidth or network operations management system as well. And that's where, I think the one of the countries is from the Middle East and the other one is from the European region. And sometimes it's kind of confusing whether you can offer service to both or is there any restriction. So thank you for clarifying that doubt about this question. Next, to basically proceed ahead with the primary infrastructure, can SCL SATs solutions integrate with existing telecom infrastructure?
Absolutely. SLSAT VSAT systems support cellular backhaul, also disaster recovery, and military grade communications. SLSAT can maintain a strategic partner with we have for in SLSAT we have a strategic partnership with local telecom operators for integration.
That's great to know. Uh, I believe, just correct me if I'm wrong, because from the technical side I might be wrong. So over here, you also mean that you are into the hybrid connectivity domain as well, right? In the commercial sector.
Yeah. Some requirements from customers need terrestrial communications as well. So we have to have our own partnership with the operators to achieve these requirements.
Very interesting to know. And as you're speaking about the infrastructure management, I think the efficiency and the cost, as well as the operation cost as well, everything comes into the play. So how does SLSATs balance performance with the cost savings? It can be
Uh,
from engineering to anything else as well in this vertical.
for SLSAT, it can be balanced by performance with cost through optimization, engineering, design, and low connectivity ratios. For us to deliver predictable performance for high priority missions is a must for in our business. As you know, so also SailSat can provide cost saving models, including bandwidth pooling across agencies and seasonal scaling for our customers.
That's a really good insight, I would say. And further to basically move ahead into the future vision and the strategic announcements, because I believe your company has been doing great over the years and it has expanded into multiple domains. So, what are some of the recent milestones from your perspective for SLSat?
For our milestones, you mean in the milestones in the future, right? Or current milestones? Sorry if
Uh,
I.
the current one also you can mention in terms of maybe regional connectivity and transponder capacity, uh, anything related to, right, the current milestones that you have.
Yeah. For us, in SailSat we've expanded our regional connectivity with VSAT energy services, Rignat, Oman. Also, we provided a transponder capacity to GulfSat for IoT. Our teleport, which is located at Al Ghwairiyah in Doha, have achieved the WTA Tier 4 certifications, which makes it the 69th teleport globally to achieve it. We also hold in our teleport the ISO 45001 since 2018, and also ISO 20000 also since 2018 certifications for our teleport. And our teleport at the moment holds placed on 50,000 square meters land, and we have future plans to expand the area of the teleport to another 50 as well, maybe coming in the future.
That's an interesting insight too. I believe a lot of potential customers might be listening to this podcast. Your potential customers, I would say. Uh, so, can
Yeah.
you just briefly mention, as you mentioned, I think about the ISO certifications, like you can just mention possible in one sentence, just so that a lot of people who are trying to procure your services are from other industries, are not having the clarity of what unique positioning it provides to a satellite operator like yours. So can you tell how the certifications and this kind of capabilities position SLSat at a very unique, gives a very unique competitive edge, I mean.
Yeah, no, for the certification, I mean the 40 ISO 45 triple zero one. It's for occupational health and safety management system for the teleport. As for the 20,000 certification is for the IT service management and the teleport.
Absolutely, that's great. I believe the customers who might be potentially listening to this podcast will have this clarity on a granular level now of what makes this satellite operator or gives them possibly a competitive edge in this market. Proceeding ahead, I would like to come to this one of my favorite questions, that is always about the future vision. So, how does SLSat align with Qatar's 2030 vision?
Um, uh, as Qatar as a country transition to knowledge-based economy, I mean, SailSat as a satellite operator is playing a pivotal role by enabling secure and scalable satellite communication for a country. And that support innovation and digital transformation for Qatar to support its vision for 2030.
So definitely, based on this, we are going to see a lot of digital transformation that is coming in, and SLSat will be playing a very key role in this segment in the coming years for sure.
For sure.
And finally, I think we are at the end part of the podcast, and I believe having met your team and having had several conversations, as well as recording the podcast with your team, I have always been primarily, fascinated by the way, the kind of capacities you have and the kind of focus you have for the future, especially uh,
Mhm.
both from the satellite operations perspective, the ground station as well. And this last question is something I'm very interested on, because I believe this really gives an insight into what's coming in the future and how your company might be positioned well in the competition that is upcoming in multiple orbits, possibly.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
from your perspective, what's next for SLSat?
For the moment, SailSat is preparing to launch their satellite Sail 3, which will extend our coverage beyond MENA. I mean, for Sail 1 and 2, it was always MENA. For this one, the new one, it will be beyond that area as well to provide service for a broader audience. For future plans also includes partnership with NGSOs, constellations, and multi-orbit services. Also, we are planning to expand into Earth observation analytics for as a SailSat.
That's very amazing move, I would say, because
Thank you.
what I see right now, it's a complete vertical integration and end-to-end service providing capabilities that SLSat is entering into. I really look forward to see these capabilities. As I said, having worked with your team closely, it is my pleasure to see such a growth, because I think I've been observing SLSat since I started working in the space industry, almost since 2014.
Oh,
And since then, having seen this progress is huge. But looking to the fact that you're also entering into the Earth observation analytics and other domains, especially in the NGSA domain as well, it's really highly appreciable. I wish you all the best to you and your team. And I guess there's a IBC Amsterdam that is coming up. Hopefully, I would be able to meet you and your team as well.
hopefully so.
And
Yes.
absolutely, it was great speaking with you, Ibrahim. And I
You
hope to
too, and
record more such episodes. Absolutely, yeah. It was great speaking with you again, and I hope to record more such episodes with you and your team in the future.
yes, let's do it. Thanks.